Hello, welcome to the Fat Ugly Toad on YouTube. Please like and subscribe at this time. This episode is about painting a toy video game to make it one of a kind. If I destroy it, I won't be very sad. I will be using vinyl and fabric spray paint purchased from an auto parts store. It sounds almost empty. I'm sure enough remains. This is the paint brand. The color is tan. In my previous experiment, it left no tacky stickiness, and the plastic didn't even feel painted. It was purchased at an auto parts chain and is sold for using on car interiors. I've used it once before on plastic and achieved excellent results. I enjoy seeing videos of custom video game toys like Game Boys and living room console games, but those toys can be expensive. So to begin, I have chosen a $5 item. The toy is an amazing $5 video game with a built-in screen made to look like a more famous toy made by Sony. I have no information regarding it whatsoever. I received it by mail in a bubble envelope from far away. The all-black color makes it difficult to film or make out any details, but let's have a quick look at its features. An LED lights up green when the device is turned on and red when it is plugged in to charge the internal battery. It charges via a mini USB port, and a small wheel controls the volume. Below the tiny screen reside the reset, select, and start buttons. Here is a view of the top of the device, the on-off switch, and a cartridge slot. Also, a mysterious hole can be found in the plastic here. Here is a closer look at the hole. Can you guess what was not included? The back of the device has no way to access the battery at all, so I am curious what I will find inside. The mystery hole from earlier is indeed labeled, however, and if you guessed AV out, you were correct. The screen is impressive. It's tiny, but is crisp and sharp with excellent viewing angles. The mono sound is adequate and the volume wheel works fine. The controls are so-so. The colors are usually strange. I like that. It reminds me of an old IBM with a CGA monitor, except in miniature. The aspect ratio is good, and all the text is perfectly legible and readable. It has 2 built-in game menus. A cartridge was included that contains an additional game list. My cartridge arrived with a sticker placed not only upside down, but also crooked. I assumed it must have been someone's first day on the line. I attempted to right the wrong, and in doing so, began damaging the sticker before I stopped. I became determined. I managed to finish removing the sticker off camera without damaging the art. Before I restore it, I will need to clean the cartridge case. I use Goo Gone and a rag. Wearing protective gloves would be wise, but I also use my fingers and fingernails. I wash my hands after, but not until I've already absorbed hazardous chemicals. Doing anything at all with a camera in front of you is clumsy at best. Next, I loaded the label into an oxymoron sticker maker. After positioning it carefully inside, I was ready to pull it through the machine. Next, I simply apply some pressure to the surface to ensure proper adhesion to the bottom. Separate the 2 halves. And voila, refurbished label. Bizarre characters from video games beneath what, when read upside down, the way I received the cartridge, states, no idea, the number of the beast. Very strange. The sticker turned out great. Sounds like someone got a text. Go ahead, I'll wait. Oh, it was me. I applied it, but soon decided I liked the look of the black cartridge better, so I later removed it again, for good. It only came with one cartridge, so I won't be mixing them up. They put a charcoal paint around the screen to frame it. It fools the eyes a little, but I'm just painting over that. Time to take it apart with a cheap screwdriver. The inspection sticker is from 2015. There goes my extended warranty. The two halves are still quite solid, and I feared it was glued at this point. Gentle yet firm. I grabbed a small flathead to pry with. No, not there, you idiot. This could be the end of it. Did I miss a screw? No. There it goes. I can breathe again. I have opened the puzzle box and released Pinhead's cousin, Q-Tip Head. He isn't as scary, just some guy with Q-tips in his ears and nose. He tries to make Q-tip fangs, but I found the battery, but they wrapped it so I can't identify it. It still works fine, so it can stay for now. When it no longer recharges, I will have to open it again, but I have some options. Disconnect the two wires, unwrap it, and see if I can figure out the voltage. If so, replace and rewire. If I can't, I can see if it runs off the wall charger and remove the battery wires. If it won't, the last option is to guess the voltage and possibly keep it running or possibly fry it. But today is none of the above. Those tiny holes in the board are where the AV out should reside. I would have to know the part they didn't include to even get one, and the audio video on similar toys I own is often either bad, terrible, audio only, or worse. Admittedly, sometimes it's decent, but this toy will never be outputting to anything else. Another, or initial model, must have included not only the AV out, but also it has a spot for a tiny front-facing speaker or microphone in the shell case. See it? Onward to the point of no return. They only used 3 screws to hold the board in place, even though it has spots for 5. Here goes. Oh no, all the buttons fell out. I've ruined it. Just kidding. They did, but it doesn't matter. A lot of the buttons are molded together in pairs, but some simple scissors will remedy that and might even improve gameplay very, very slightly. This is what I'm after. The faceplate. Yoink! It's difficult to not briefly admire such an effort despite its flaws. All the people, all the hours, all the machines, all the parts, all the stress involved. Then trucks, boats, trains, all to get $5 in 2015. Amazing. But these joined buttons are just stupid. Okay, that concludes part 1 or something. Let's take one more look at this faceplate before I destroy it. I cleaned it well, but didn't do anything else to it. When you use spray paint, I advise you to go outside and also to wear safety gear, even if you're a hikikomori. This stuff is very toxic. But do what you want. I'm not telling anybody what to do. Okay, I only get one shot at this because this paint doesn't do multiple coats. It reacts strangely to itself. Here goes. Oh no, it's completely empty. Come on. Keep going. It's perfect. Oh no, I ruined it. It looks kind of cool, I guess. But I have another can, so I'll use that too. So much for my wife's antique table. You think she'll be mad? I'm just kidding. It's from IKEA, and it already had paint all over it. The method I am using is called pile it on, but don't cause runs, and hope for the best. Next I have to wait for a long time and not touch it, or it'll have fingerprints. Well, it's now the next day because of the magic of trick photography and editing, and it turned out great. Oh boy, it's an entire new color and it doesn't feel sticky at all. That stuff is like magic in a can for plastic painting. It kind of looks like a piece of weird bread or an old computer from a smoker's house. Awesome. For this to turn out looking this good has to be the paint, as it certainly was not my skill with a spray can. It isn't perfect, close but not perfect. Honestly, it just feels like a piece of plastic and not like a painted piece of plastic. I really like the tan color, and I think it's kind of 80s computer looking. Under the wrist strap holder did not get painted, but whatever. But I did learn to remember something like that in the future. On the rounded sides is some very minor speckling of the black showing through. My camera isn't considered good, so obviously these photos of the toy reassembled don't do much justice to this retro gizmo from 2015. But I did take a lot of photos anyway. The screen looks so tiny now, but it is. It looks more honest somehow, like an economy car from the 70s. I like the black more now as well. Cartridge, power switch, undercarriage, and especially the buttons. Speaking of the buttons, the separations were a success and the performance improved very slightly, but they are still just okay. Well, what about this hole that will never be an audio-video out jack? I decided to cover it to reduce interior dust, plus I just didn't like the look of it. I looked around for 5 minutes and found this cool thumbtack. A spot of bling that doesn't shout, like the one remaining wheel cover on an Oldsmobile Omega. Off camera, I used hot glue. It'll stay on until I have to look under the hood again. At that time, I can pry it off and not break anything. I also think of it as a slap in the face to those new aluminum shells for more popular toys. Those do seem nice though. Let's charge it up and see what's left in this clunker. The Fiery Sword of Flecko. Flecko. We make weird Fs. The first game is called Crash. Should we interrupt this character pooping behind a tree? I thought I had. Sure you are. Walt Disney's Crash. I think we're all looking forward to that one day. Crash begins his journey through the jungle to find the Man Village. A neighborhood in San Francisco? Who needs mushrooms? Just get one of these. I throw my poop at you. There's a vine there, it's hard to see. Finicky platformer. I suck at video games, by the way. I do find them entertaining, though. Stupid monkey. This critter can really hurl some poop. I'd hate to visit his zoo. Or her. Oh well. Let's play Sonic the Hedgehog. Classic Sega Genesis. This thing is insane. I like it. Each menu has about 30 games before it repeats. Sometimes, though, you can find hidden gems if you keep looking further down. I discover stuff I've never seen before, and warped versions of stuff I have seen before. Whoa, man, this is crazy. If anyone knows what this device even is, please comment below. I think I'll call mine the Omega. I don't know how to play this, but I might have to learn. The cartridge has another 20 or so games before repeating. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.